Welcome to the Thailand in Antarctica.
Have you seen Congo?
No.
Okay.
What is that?
It's just a film about apes that go violent, and every single time I see this jungle, I feel like they are just trying to crush out of the woodwork. Anyways, bottom left of the map, we have our Terran player. He starts for the Fnatic team, and his idea is...
Fnatic alive.
Gonna want to keep his chances in this tournament alive. If he loses here, he's out. But a lot of people expect him to do very well. In fact, 2-0 his opponent, who is, of course, the Slayer Zerg, starting at the bottom right in the blue. His idea is... He's got...
Slayers. Mia.
He's got some very quick movements. And you know, the way he kind of bounces around in the booth actually can be a little bit intimidating, I would say.
If Mia makes it indigo as I'm going to buy a new set of glasses.
Yeah, I like it on him though. I like the glasses.
It's too much. It's just too much. I will go to Keen and I will borrow some of his sunglasses and I will give them to Mia. That would probably work. I think he can really pull them off. Think about it.
I'm thinking about it.
Then he probably looks like a huge wasp.
Yeah, something like that, man. Wasp, yeah.
Oh, okay.
All right, well.
Focus.
By the way, these positions for Mia allows Alive to push him at his natural pretty easily with tanks.
That is really the position that you don't want to be in as a Zerg player. We talked about it earlier. It's just the position at the natural, guys. You can siege up on the low ground as a Terran player. You use your Medivacs in order to grant vision onto the high ground. You can also elevate your Marines at the natural. And it's just really the most horrible position for a Zerg to be in. So if there is any kind of, let's call it how it is, imbalance on this map, it's this position. It's what really Zergs don't want to be in. You have to spread your creep perfectly at the low ground if you want to face it, and you have to identify the threat as soon as possible, so that you can move out and intercept your opponent. Also, a couple of spine crawlers and spore crawlers on the high ground will definitely help.
Yeah. And I mean, this type of thing can be held if you can stop him from approaching your natural, but your creep has to be so good for that. Which we're actually living in a different time than when that build was really popular, when this map was used in the GSL. Now, creep is a lot easier to spread with queens. The way Zergs are playing is very different now as well than it used to be. But it's interesting to see what's going to happen. I wonder if Alive will try to do a push like that now that he knows the positions. The option is always there.
You, of course, don't have to go for this push. It's just a very, very strong option that you have, and a lot of the Terran players used it in the past. This map has fallen off the radar as a lot of tournaments won't use it anymore in the competition in the WCS career. It's still represented, and we'll find out what exactly Alive is going to do in this map.
By the way, Mia's made a huge group of links here, actually. There's 8 of them, in fact, and since Alive does not have a bunker, he's actually going to have to lift this command center and delay his orbital.
He has to lift his supply depot. Actually, Mia would have been able to sneak in here. I think if he would have just continued and walked straight for the gap, he would have been able to sneak in. Of course, he didn't see it immediately, but the SCV was blocking the supply depot for quite a while. Yeah, and a very aggressive opening by Mia. I like this actually a lot.
This, I think, partially the choice for this was because he knows that in these positions, the reactor is going to be on the outside for the factory. So he's like, well, you're going to have to deal with my pressure here. And you're right, man. If he actually ran right in them, at the very least, the Marines would have been trapped on the outside, and he would have had to lose those Marines. But this is a great position for Mia. He sacrificed a little bit of extra resources, but he delayed the reactors so much, which means less Hellions are going to be out on the map.
Also, the command center, it had to fly to the inside, so that was definitely a good spot. And Mia now with the 4 gases immediately. Another reason why this map is actually a little bit tricky for Zerg is because you have rocks at the 3rd base. So there are 2 options that you have. Either you sacrifice lava in order to get another bunch of Zerglings or roaches if the roach one into the game. Then you take down the rocks and get your 3rd safely in this position. Or you have to just expand to the top right. And then the base is a long way from your natural and your main base. So it's always this trade-off that you have to take. And Overlord getting picked off here. Mia with a bit of unluck. Well, actually, the thing is, it's of course a little bit unlucky for Mia, but on the other hand, just Alive having these Marines into this position just shows how well he knows the map and how well he knows the Overlord positioning for Zergs.
Yeah, showing a lot of good practice here. Obviously, this map is still in the ladder pool on Battle.net, so it's still played quite often. It's been in there for a really long time, in fact. And you're right about the rocks. This is different than on Tomb Valley, for example, where, yeah, you have to kill the rocks to take your third, but you can take the third first, then you kill the rocks so your third's safer, but in this case, you literally cannot place the hatchery until the rocks are dead. Nice little barracks lift here to try to catch this Overlord, and it's going to survive a little bit longer.
Something what a couple of Zergs will do, by the way, is just place a hatch next to the rocks, mine from the 4 mineral patches that are really close, and then work at the rocks, place down another hatchery and use the old one as the macro hatch.
Yes.
It's a pretty cute move that a couple of Zerg players will use. It's not being used in this game, but some players out there might remember it. And if you are new to this map or to StarCraft just in general, just to give you a bit of a heads up if we will see it in the future. Yeah. Also something that Mia might do here is go for a spy attack, because this has been one of the maps. He's deciding to go for the infestation bit, but just traditional speaking, this is one of the maps where a lot of Zerg players will use a Mutalisk play, because you have so much dead space between the bases, you can just bounce between them. So it's a very solid build that you can go for. But we now have a Baneling Nest as defense, at least for now, and we have the Infestation Pit. So both players playing a little bit more the standard style that we see on every map in the map pool, and not really playing the strengths of the map.
Exactly, I would agree. And one concern that's going to arise from Mia is that he still does not have a macro hatchery or a third base at all. So his production right now is a little bit limited. He's just going to finally go to work on these rocks. So that's exactly why these Hellions are here.
Yeah. Alive, of course, knows that Mia has to kill him at some point. He saw earlier that they were still in position, and now he's trying to make the best use possible of his Hellions. And look at the creep spread for Mia here. He actually has the creep really spread far to the left, because he knows that this is the one position that is really vulnerable, and Alive is not going for any kind of tank push here, so, at least not for now. He's sticking with his bases, he's going for the bit of Banshee harass, and a very aggressive build here indeed. But I really like how Mia is playing this, disregarding the fact that he doesn't have a third and never really tried to take down those rocks so far.
Yeah, and Alive just being very good about denying him from doing the rocks. He popped in there twice with Lings. Alive chased them away, and he was like, well, I guess I can't do this. And right now, he's making a ton of infestors off of 2 hatcheries. I mean, 6 infestors at the 10-minute mark in this matchup is pretty insane. And there's a third hatch.
And at the third hatch, by the way, now to the top right, the position that I mentioned earlier. So he decided to not build it at the rock position, because the rocks are still there, just have been killed a second ago. And we have the first few tanks and also siege mode being built for Alive. So this is definitely, this tank push is not something that you have to execute with the timing. You can also use it later on. And here are a lot of Broodlords that are actually being caught off guard. I really love that Alive sends his Viking down to the bottom right of the map behind his opponent's main base to take down additional overseers. Overlords.
Yeah. He killed 4 of them already, plus the Overlord he killed earlier with the Marine, plus the one in the main. That's 6 in total he's killed. He's moving out with a small force here. Baneling Nest is ready. He's just had that prepared for defensive use. He's got a transfuse he will likely use here, and the infestors are a big concern of his. That's exactly why he got them this fast, to deal with this small tankless type push.
Yeah. This push is designed to kill creep, of course. You want to make sure that the creep tumors are dead, and then you can also siege up in this position later on that we talked about, and which we might still see. Now we have the first few medivacs on the map, and here comes the Spire, also the tag for Hive. He's really aiming for the Broodlords right now. Question is, will Alive give him this much time? Because Alive really hates late game against Zerg. This is why very often he plays very aggressive against Zerg players. He wants to kill them before they reach the Broodlord tag and doesn't want to face them in the late game in this just death ball composition of Zergs.
You're right, and he's continuing that aggression as we speak with his units. He's got all the watchtowers to the north held. He continues to deny the creep spread that's moving towards that north sector of the map as well. Going for a drop here. Great position by Mia, though, to spot this, and even with all the Overlords killed, he's still able to see it because he spread his creeps so far into the main base. And this is a mistake by Alive, actually. Should not have dropped there.
Yeah, gets out there once again with the medivac. And this Viking with 5 kills already, still roaming the map and looking for additional ones, might actually have the luck of finding another one. Another base is being taken by Alive right now, who so far is ahead in supply. And this is a position that you never want to be in as a Zerg. If the Terran player is suddenly 40 or 30 supply ahead of you, you know that something didn't really go your way.
Yes. And now I'm wondering if, you know, I mean, this opening for Mia seemed a little bit shaky at first, but because he just went for this super fast tech, but it's allowed him to stop Alive's initial pressure. And now his bases need to kick in, though, for him to really actually capitalize on the fact that he committed so much into tech. Now he's got the basis to start making those units and starting to push Alive throughout the map and kind of control things still, but Alive is actually the one who's bullying him with the drops now. He's not able to mine from his initial third that he made.
Alive knows that has the timings down dead cold. He's moving out now with his own +2/+2 timing. He wants to siege up this position right now. He knows that the Brood Lords cannot be ready yet. The Greater Spire is not there. He's killing the creep right now, and he's just working his way towards this position that we talked about. Now the siege tanks can be positioned. Yes, there are a few Zerglings that make sure that reinforcements don't have an easy way to connect with the main army, but this is a very, very dangerous time for Mia.
Oh, especially if he loses these Lings, because then he's not really going to be able to cut off those reinforcements like you were talking about. And as soon as he takes out this next wave of units, oh, there's no Baneling speed. That is a big problem. As soon as he takes out this next wave of units, he can actually move his tanks forward and siege up right in the position that we've been talking so much about in this game so far.
Alive has realized, though, also with the scouting information that he has, that he is not in a position where he can kill Mia before the Broodlord's out. Yes, he's in a good position, but he cannot kill those bases. So he's going straight away for double starport, which will enable him to react to whatever Mia is doing here. So really stable and very well thought out build that we see here by Alive, and he's just so far ahead in this game.
He really is. I mean, he's not allowed Mia to mine from that top right base at all. Just continues to drop and kill drones. Baneling speed is now finally on the way, and this is actually a big problem. It's just so late. Look at how well he's able to use this group of Marines to target down Banelings. Yeah, it will be cleaned up, but he was able to trade extremely cost efficiently, much more cost efficiently than he should have. Takes out a group of Lings in the middle of the map as well. And Mia just constantly being about 30 supply down is allowing Alive to really just control this game. He's got a 4th command center finishing up now that he can move over north to his main as soon as he wants to.
Alive still has to be a little bit careful, though. He's doing a good job in this game, but it's not like Mia is completely out of it just yet. So if he gets some good fungals up and is able to kill this army, then that would be the best situation for Mia ever. Here comes the siege up and the drop in the main base, but Mia is ready for this. He has the fungals ready, takes down the first few tanks, and also this one medivac just doesn't stand a chance.
Yeah, he needs to be able to deal with the Broodlords, or he'll never be able to approach this location. Mia has really quickly tried to get the Broodlord tech out. He got the investors quickly. He's used this aggressive defense, I don't know how else to describe it, in order to stop the types of attacks that we've seen from Alive. Still not really mining very much at this top right base, only mining a little bit of gas up there.
He wants to have the second gas for sure, and now of course Alive also trying to take a 4th base that is currently camped by a Zergling to the left side of the map. We have the Broodlord tech now, of course, a long time done for a long time already, but only 3 Broodlords in the game. Now he's getting additional 6. That will help him a lot here. But still, Alive is now falling a little bit behind in supply. Yes, he has the better bank. He's going for +3/+3. This will help him a lot. Vikings are on their way, but he needs to do some effective damage, some pressure play here.
Yeah, because right now he's not really able to touch Mia. He denies the mining at the top right so many times, but that's not enough. If the Broodlord count continues to get higher and higher, he's getting the right amount of Corruptors out. He's barely lost any resource this game. I mean, yeah, he's lost 5,000 resources, but Alive has lost 5,500. And this is a Zerg who's been kind of low on the economy throughout this entire game, but just not really being hurt too much by that, because if he doesn't lose any units, he still has enough money to use what he has.
Also very interesting at this point is that Alive is actually getting 2 additional starports. I'm wondering if this is only for the Viking production or if he is really trying to commit to switch to air units.
I think he wants to switch. He's getting +1 for his air, but it's not indicative of this necessarily, because you want to get that no matter what. But look what he's doing again over here. This is the type of thing he really needs to do to really hurt Mia, and this is a big, harsher play than what we've seen from him so far.
The thing is that Alive is currently actually equipped with 2 reactors at his starports that he already has, so getting an additional 2 indicates that he wants to get tech labs here. And he builds them. He builds the tech labs. We might see Ravens here in addition.
Yeah, I definitely think we will. This is what a lot of Terrans have been doing in the late game right now. And Mia actually coming in here, there's a lot of Corruptors here. It's very difficult for the Vikings to actually push back. And all the Baneling hits are good. No splitting from Alive.
Alive has to be careful. He's still in the supply lead and he needs more Vikings. He knows it. He sees that his opponent has way too many Corruptors at this point.
76 Lings on the way. Mia takes the supply lead now. And he doesn't really have any support for these Broodlords. It's only Vikings against Corruptors right now, but the Lings will stream in.
At the bottom right, we saw the drop just not being used by Alive. He still has it in position. Now he's walking in at the the 3rd base, but he still has a drop in the main that he did not use. The Corruptors are still roaming the map now looking for his opponent's Vikings, but there are only 4 of them, so not quite sure what Mia tried to achieve with those.
Yeah, that was not a very successful little attack. The Lings on the ground are going to be a big problem for Alive, who most of his army is in dropships kind of scattered around the map. Now he's starting to use that drop in the main, actually takes out a tech structure. I think that was a spawning pool, if I'm not mistaken. It was. And he's going to take out the Queen as well. The Viking count is now enough to push these Corruptors and Broodlords back, but he's actually targeting the Broods instead.
He's completely ignoring the Corruptors here, and this is something that he just cannot afford, especially with the Fungal. Now suddenly all of them are dead, and Alive is falling behind in supply. Yes, he has this army, but the problem, he's doing so much damage to the economy, but the problem is he can't fight this Death Ball. Yeah. We talked about it. This is the one scenario that Alive is so uncomfortable with, and we see why.
His buildings are actually being used against him here a little bit, as he cannot actually get under the Broodlords. A few Vikings pop out, he targets the Broods again, but I mean, he doesn't have enough Marines to deal with this, and the Banelings are too good here. The Baneling hits are actually terrible on the Marauders, but he takes out more production facilities, and Alive is dropping fast in supply. He will finally chase this back until the Lings arrive, and now all those Lings we talked about earlier are really starting to make a big difference, and the production for Alive is very limited right now.
Alive is behind an army supply as well, 95 against 109 total supply. Mia without a spawning pool at this point in time. Those Marines are really on their last leg. All of them are down to the red, but he's able to chase the Infestors away and take them down as they don't have any energy left. The Ling to the left side of the map is playing a huge role here as well. There are 4 of them blocking the additional command center for Alive from mining.
And Mia is sending units all over the map, making sure Alive has no hidden expansions. So far, he's finding out that there aren't any. The tanks that were attacking the initial third base of Mia have been moved. He wants to send them home, but if they get caught by Lings, they're going to die.
At the third base for Alive, we now have a wall, and this is the main source of income that he has. Another Zergling has been borrowed to the left side of the map, and the SCVs are now moving over. He needs a scanner and can just take it down with the SCVs. That's enough. The siege tanks being caught in the middle of the map are a huge problem, though. Alive has them completely out of position in the range of a creep tumor on creep, so there was no problem for Mia sending a few Zerglings there to take them down.
Yeah, I mean, a good idea to bring it home, but he needed to have support for them to actually do that. The Banshee has still not killed the Ling, and we have 2 Ravens and Seeker Missile on the way. Alive really going to try to pull a Gumiho Raven comeback here, I think, but this is not going to be easy. He's done a lot of damage to Mia, but I would say Mia is still significantly ahead in this game, especially considering that a lot of Alive's supply is in red Marines that have no hit points left practically.
Alive's build looked a lot more crisp than Mia's, but when it came down to the actual fight later on, Mia just stalling for so much time, getting the Broodlords and everything, and even with those 2 starports that Alive had, he added reactors, and he just was not ready for the Corruptors just yet, especially not for the amount of Corruptors and the Infestors. So Mia in the fight looked way stronger. Alive is not out of the picture yet. His drop play is just incredible. Every single time Mia was attacking, he had the drops ready. He did so much damage. He can't really kill the Infestation bit here, but he can force his opponent back, and he can distract him once more. Now he has to drop, though, because those Corruptors, they are not kidding.
They are not kidding, man. They are going to take that drop out. The Queen transfused in the Infestation pit. Nicely done to save it. It's really important because he does need that. And this is, again, a slow gamble that Alive took. It's something that he kind of has to do right now. He has to continue to harass Mia because his production is very limited. He's making 3 Marines at a time right now, at a time where he wants to be making about 4 times as many as that.
But he's focusing a little bit more on the air units here. With the Vikings that he now has, he has 4 additionals coming up. That will increase his Viking count to 4, because he doesn't have a single one. He only has the Ravens here. And Alive just needs a bit of time, but Mia might not give it to him, because here we have him with 94 army supply against 85. But look at this Banshee now. The Banshee already with 10 kills. This is the Banshee from early on. Another drop now at the fort. He's just everywhere. He's just shutting down the income of Mia step by step, but he has to beat the army as well, and this is the one thing where I'm a bit scared for Alive.
Yeah, but the drone kill count on this Banshee now up to 16. He's got on hold position, so he's going to move that, but he kills the hatchery at top right, kills a few more drones there as well. And this is starting to become really scary for me economy-wise, but like you said, yeah, he's got the better army, and the Bungles, oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh, that hurts so much.
Secret Missiles coming out here, but the Ravens, you know, are bungled as well. They're going to get taken out. And he did not kill all of the Infestors. Alive now down in supply, but this time he cannot save his production facilities in his main base. Not even the starports will likely be saved here. He's got his production facilities now scattered across his main base at his natural, and I think this may be the end of him here because he hasn't reproduced them. He can't afford to reproduce them. Nice Viking position here, starting to pick off these Broodlords though. The Fungals are not really going to be able to reach that very easily.
And a great, he needs to be careful. The funnels are
and
still
he
in.
gets it.
Yes, still in position. But he kills so much of his opponent's production. We have now 80 supply for Alive against 109. It certainly looks like Alive is out of luck here because he just doesn't have any production anymore.
Yeah.
But this macro game of Alive was really intense. I mean, he was everywhere. Right now, though, he can't beat this huge army, and that's the big problem that he's facing, and I don't think that he has an answer for this.
Yeah, I mean, that is the problem. You're exactly right. He's ahead of his opponent in workers, but it doesn't matter when he doesn't have very many bases, no production, and no way to kill the army. The hatchery at the third base will be taken out now as well, putting actually Mia down to just 3 hatcheries, including his natural.
Mia right now is essentially just doubling the army supply of Alive. It's really looking tough for the Terran player, for Fnatic. Mia losing a lot of Infestors here though, and this is something that shouldn't happen. He doesn't control them at all.
Yeah, that's actually really...
He's actually moving into the Infestor Terrans, into the Terrans right now. He's just lost like 7 Infestors to 4 Marines.
And this is a situation in which his army is everything, because he has now lost his entire economy, and Alive is mining and he is not, so he cannot afford to throw units away like this. He's got a lot of gas, but he needs more minerals to remake Infestors. He's going to lose another hatchery in his main base. He's got no answer for the 3 Marines and 1 Marauder that are actually killing his macro hatch right now.
To be completely honest with you, Alive's biggest problem is that his only mining base now being attacked by Broodlords, but there are only 3 Broodlords left. If he had a starport here, Alive could still take this game.
And he's making Marines?
Yes, he's building a lot of them. And Mia, as you said, he just doesn't have mining. There is no mining going on for the Zerg player. And I don't know, but we might actually see a really crazy comeback. I don't really think that's going to be happening.
It's possible, though. It certainly is. He's still got a second command center. He's not mining from it really right now, but he could later on. And the drop comes in here. He's trying to take out one of these Broodlords to counter Micro a little bit better. Barely
so
misses
close.
it. 18 hit points left. He can still try to target it, but now it's too far away. He needs the Vikings, as you said. He needs a starport, and in order to get that, he's gonna he needs a factory. He's got 1 starport left, but it's floating and it's burning right now. He doesn't have a factory, so he needs to remake that before he can make any starports. Depot's going down here, try to hide those. And Mia's still with a firm hold on this game, but Alive, man, he has done so much damage. Thing is, like you said, time and time again, he cannot kill the army of Mia. If he can do that just one time, he will win this game, but it's not going to be easy.
And one Viking would do such a difference just because this base is still mining for Alive here. Mia is just not in a position where he can get a lot of units into the picture. So Alive could actually, with a little bit of luck, if he can take down these Broodlords, whittle down the army supply of his opponent. Those Infestors that Mia built, his unit control is just falling apart for Mia.
Yeah.
He's losing too many Infestors to like scattered around Marines that are randomly on the position on the map.
Mia now realizing the 5 Banelings left in the main base could be used for something, but unfortunately not in time to really do anything with them. Does take out a few Marines, but that was not a good trade. Alive, though, is kind of out of time here. Yeah. He's no longer mining at the space very much at all. He spent all of his resources on repair. He does not kill the Broods.
He can't kill the Broodlords. This is his problem. There's just no way for him to establish another base at this point in time. The Broodlords are something that he cannot take down.
The drop is taken out as well. He's now down to 23 supply. And a nice comeback attempt. But Mia, I think, is just going to shut him down here. He's going to take out the last of these Lings, but Mia now has 3 Broodlords still that are going at that hatch, and he's got the money coming in slowly but steadily from his long-distance mining to actually allow him to reproduce just a few more units. And the problem here is just the range. The other orbital's not mining.